Hi everyone, welcome back. We are in the greenhouse today and we are going to be finally cutting some more herbs. You guys loved learning about drying herbs, so I thought I would share some more with you. It was a very windy day, so sorry if it's a little noisy. My door is going crazy over there, but it is so windy out. I've got the door open, but it is warm. I do not have a thermometer in here right now in the greenhouse, but I would venture to say that we're like in the upper 80s in here. And it's a much cooler day outside. Today I'm going to be picking and drying herbs and showing you a few different ways you can preserve your herbs or dry your herbs, and you can pick what works best for you. So the first herb I picked here is my parsley, and it is just so lush. It has that fresh garden smell, which is so awesome since we don't have produce coming in from the garden anymore. I picked some parsley maybe a month or two back, and this whole plant completely grew back. So it's nice to be able to get all that again. Now, while I can certainly come out here and cut fresh, I do know that I will utilize the parsley more often if I have it dried in my house. So I'm picking a lot of this plant, even though it will probably die back over the winter. I've been having really good luck with my herbs coming back the following year. So hopefully parsley will be one of those. The next herb I'm cutting today is my sage. Again, I'm going to cut these pretty low. So I like to cut almost the entire stem down to the base and then collect these leaves later. Now, in my last video, I talked about how I really enjoy using these clean leaves for my herbs. But what I do sometimes, and not always, it kind of just depends on how much time I've got, is I will save these imperfect ones and I'll use those for broth. As long as they're washed and cleaned, I'm not really so worried about that. So the next herb I'm harvesting today is this oregano, and as you can see, some of it has gone to flower and seed, which is just fine by me. It goes right back in the pot, and it's going to grow more oregano for me next year. It's going to grow more oregano for me next year. So I am going to cut some of these bigger, more green sections, but I'm not going to get too much off of this right now, and that's okay. I actually have a little bit of oregano left in the house, so I'm not too concerned about it. And then because my sage plant was so close to my oregano, it actually seeded in there, and I ended up with some a lot greener options in there. So these two have seeds, so I'm going to make sure those seeds fall back in this pot, and I'm going to cut out what's in here. They have a very different look, so as far as herbs go, for the most part, they're easy to tell apart. They look so different. And even if you can't tell the difference by looks, you can usually smell and tell the difference. Even if it's something like, this smells like spaghetti. You can kind of get the idea of what it is. Now, if I'm harvesting a lot of herbs, I will separate them in different baskets and things like that. But since I'm not doing too many today, I've just got them side by side. And I'm going to be taking care of drying them right away. Now, the next herb I'm cutting is one I don't cut very often, clearly. In fact, this is one that overwintered really well. This is my thyme. Now, I don't use thyme a ton, so I don't really need as much as I get here, but I am going to cut off and dry some just to replenish what I have in the cupboard. I can be pretty picky with it since I don't really need very much of it. Ooh, in fact, as I'm moving it, I'm finding some really nice oregano hiding under it. So I'm going to pick that too. Look at some of these. It's just gorgeous. Ooh. Apparently I was sitting in water. So I do have some herbs in the greenhouse here that I'm not collecting today. I have some lemon balm, and I also have some mint. Now, I just don't use these dried. So I do have some saved dried lemon balm in the house if I want to make some tea or something, but it's just not something we use. So I really don't have a need for it at the moment. I am hoping to look into using my lemon balm for some sort of a cleaner, because I realize that I tend to go towards like a lemon smell in my house. I just really find that refreshing and it smells clean to me. So if there's some way I can kind of incorporate it into some sort of cleaner, maybe mixing it with vinegar or something, I'm trying to figure out what I can do with that. But for now, it's just growing in here. It isn't hurting anything. If I really want to pick it, I can certainly go feed it to the animals. And then the mint as well, I tend to just use it fresh in the summer for drinks. I don't really have a lot of uses for it. If you love chocolate mint, I'm sure you could put use to it, but it's just not something I utilize. So one thing I'm going to be harvesting today that I really haven't harvested much at all of is our fennel. Now last year I planted our fennel and it did well, and we were able to eat some fresh fennel, but it really never went to seed. And it's the fennel seed that I use when we're making sausage and things of that flavor. So I really wanted to collect fennel seed. It meant it grew this huge tall plant this year, and it's gone to seed. It's probably seeded itself right into our raised bed here. But today I'm going to be collecting all of these little seeds that haven't yet fallen off. So they look just, it's kind of like a little green. So I'm going to be collecting these. Now these are probably already pretty dry, but I will set them with my other dried herbs until I have time to jar or package them up. As I'm picking these fennel seeds so carefully, I realize that, you know, this all is going to die anyways. So I think what I'm going to do, in similar fashion to like how I would harvest dill, I might not go quite down to the base because I do have some new fennel sprouts down here. But I think I'm going to go pretty low and kind of collect this whole plant. I do want to cut off more of the delicate seeds that I can, because I don't want them to all fall as I'm transporting it into the house. But some of these seeds probably could be dried a little bit more, or I might just use them instead for cooking with fresh, because they weren't quite all the way dry. All right. Whew. Despite it being so hot outside and windy and just lots going on, we're back in the house. So you can see I've got my herb rack here. This is where all my garlic was. Now that that is all planted, we can move on and use it once again for herbs. Now the top shelf has had some onions on it. I just laid them out here to dry. I didn't have a great ideal spot out of, you know, rain and such. So I've got some onions, some shallots up there drying. Now, some of them I did notice were starting to sprout. So I honestly will probably just put these in my fridge and use those. The rest are going to end up in the root cellar, either for planting next year or for when we're out of onions, just going to get and to be able to use. What else I've got on my rack still is some dill I harvested a while back. I've been slowly working my way through it, and I've got a jar of dill weed and a jar of dill seed, and I just keep, when I have a few minutes, go through a stalk or two and kind of set them aside. It's definitely dried now. This was actually hanging up since it was such a big bundle. I had it hanging from the ceiling. So that's a great way where you can dry herbs. You don't need to buy any gadgets or anything to be able to dry them. Many places you can hang your herbs, dry them, and you'll be fine. Now, if you live in a climate where they're never going to get dry, that might not be an option for you. Where I am, this is completely reasonable for me to do. So these are dry, and I'm able to just kind of jar them up. I am actually using just my vacuum sealer to suck out the oxygen out of the jars. I also have some seeds up here. I do need to go through and cut down some of my flower seeds, but some of the kids wanted to save some gourd seeds, so they went ahead and picked them and laid them all out here to save, and we'll see if they do well. It was their own project, so sometimes you have to just let go of the reins and let them do their thing. So that's what they wanted to do. They liked a certain gourd and they kept some of the seeds. And then I have that last batch of parsley I picked a few months ago. It actually was in this basket still. I had the basket sitting on the shelf and they dried right in the basket. I didn't need to do anything special. There was enough air movement, but I just moved these to the shelf till I have time to jar them up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be laying this all out to dry. Now this herb rack I'm using, I'll leave a link in the description below, but the herb rack I'm using is in my unheated, uncooled mudroom, kind of like the area between the outside and in our house. So I am not too concerned with washing a lot of my herbs before I do anything with them, if that makes sense. Now, if you're really worried about your herbs, like we talked about that sage, like with the holes and stuff, I can certainly wash it and then bring it out to dry, and sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't. But if there's any bugs or things on here, for the most part, they come out here. And for the most part, I don't worry about it too much. It's things that I was growing myself, and I feel a lot better about them than other things. So the fennel is not something necessarily that needs drying. We did have some of that fresher fennel that I'll probably just set aside and cook with. But for now, I'm just going to set these on the rack until I have time to do something with, similar to what I'm doing with the dill. All right, I think I'm going to move the kiddos' gourd seeds since they're all dry. I'll put those in an envelope for the kids. But then the next, what's my sage? I'm going to take the thyme, and this one I'm really going to spread out because it holds moisture really well. Now, this would be an herb that you could tie up, but it's obviously not going to be as easy because it's so small and pieces are going to fall out. So this is one that I love to be able to lay out, spread out. It really holds moisture, so really spreading it out is going to be key for my thyme and drying. All right, where I've got this parsley, I'm actually going to set my other parsley next to it, and I'll be moving this dried parsley to show you what I do with it in a minute. But for now, I can set most of this down here. And again, just spreading it out. Yeah, we've got a shelf down here for our sage. I just leave them right on the stems. Don't worry about taking these off the stems. It's so much easier to do it once it's dry. And then this last shelf, I'm going to put my oregano. So if you don't have somewhere to hang your herbs, or that's not a great idea for you for whatever reason it may be, and you don't have a drying rack like this, there are other ways you can dry and preserve your herbs. Now, lots of people use a food dehydrator to dry their herbs, and some people even use an oven. If you want to use one of those two methods, you need to make sure you have your dehydrator or your oven, if it goes low enough, on a very low setting. So the reason for this is that the higher the heat when you're drying your herbs, the more nutrients you're sucking out of these and the more flavor. So I really don't want to do that. That's why I like to air dry my stuff. The only part that tends to be a little worrisome for me is if I don't get something all the way dry, I can lose, a whole jar of herbs, and that's really hard. Where if you dehydrate them, that's a lot less likely to happen. But if they don't have that great fresh flavor that I'm going for, that's just kind of a disappointment for me too. Another really great option, if you have the availability for herbs, is to freeze dry them. Now, I don't have that option readily available to me, but I have heard that the freeze dried herbs are some of the best and most flavorful. And when you're buying an herb and you can't figure out why a certain company's herbs are so much better than others, it's probably because they're freeze dried. Now, if you don't have the space, the time, the energy, whatever it is, you can still preserve your herbs even if you are not drying them. And one really fun and tasty way to preserve your herbs is by cutting and freezing them in little chunks of butter or oil. So it's a super easy way to preserve them. You can simply use an ice cube tray and have either melted butter or have your oil, whatever oil you like to cook with, and your chopped up washed herbs, throw them in, throw that butter or oil in, and throw them in the freezer. Once frozen, just pop them in a bag, and then you have these ready to cook little cooking pods, basically, where you can toss them in, saute some meat, and you're gonna have just delicious, delicious flavor. Now that I'm at the end of picking the main things out, I've got all the little stragglers left behind that I have to sort through since I used the same basket. I just didn't want to carry more than one basket. Actually, the kids packed up almost all the baskets for me. This one had the parsley in it, that's why it was still up here. But all the rest are in the root cellar, already stored away for next year. Bittersweet. What's that quote? For everything there is a season. Obviously so fitting for gardening, but I think I was talking to somebody over on Instagram the other day and just about the eventual end of the garden. You so look forward to it when you're in the thick of it, of just having that break, and then when it comes, you are never ready for it because you miss it. So having these little things that kind of hang on helps me a little bit. Alright, so I have this parsley that's already been laying here drying, and I'm just going to show you how I store it after I'm done drying it. So Matt's woodworking, can you hear that? Sorry. So after it's done, I just take the stems and I push off the leaves basically, and I toss these stems. They're great pig and chicken feed. They're also great great compost options. So that's what I do with these little stems. Now you can see I kind of just try to crumple it up the best I can. As I'm putting it in the jar, it just saves me a step later. I usually do always put my herbs in kind of like this, especially when they're fresh. Eventually I probably will have to buy an herb grinder, because some of those like spicier, when I'm preserving like hot peppers and things, it would be nice to have an official grinder to grind them up. So eventually I will probably buy an herb or a coffee grinder specifically for doing this, but for now this is just kind of how I do it. If you really need yours, fine, then that's something you can look into, but this is a great way to start with basically not hardly a penny into it. So other than my seeds for my herbs and the jar I've already have, that's all I'm doing. Now what I used to do is I used to just store these just like this in my cupboard, and for the most part that works great. Every once in a while you get one that wasn't quite dry, like had a little bit of moisture in it, and then you can tell when that happens. They'll either have a smell or they'll be stuck together, and then you have to toss it, and I don't really like doing that. So I was looking into other options, and back when we had a food saver, we used the jar top sealer to kind of suck out the oxygen that's in here, and that really seemed to help. After we got rid of the jar sealer, I did purchase I purchased moisture and oxygen absorbers for my jars, and the oxygen absorbers were more of a mistake. My intention was to buy moisture absorbers so that I could suck the moisture out if there was anything in here. I didn't want to risk losing it, and I already stopped using them. Like, some of my jars still have them, but I already stopped using them because I have my vacuum sealer, and it's really silly that I wasn't using it. So it's good that I am now. And it took a family member calling me out on it with, why do you have this giant machine if you're not using it? I was like, yes, that's a really good point. So now I use that. So I'll show you how I do that. I just take a ring and a flat, and this is the only reason I save old flats, is to reuse for dry storage. So I put this on. I put it, you guys are gonna laugh, I put it in my vacuum sealer. Sometimes I forget jars in here. I put it in my vacuum sealer, and then I just shut it and turn it on, and it'll take all that oxygen and seal my jar. So this was actually one, see, this one still has the oxygen and the moisture absorber in it, but this was just one in my cupboard. So what I did was I was cooking and I use all of my herbs and things and I take them out, and then when I'm done, now that this is right outside my kitchen door, it doesn't take much effort to set the jar in here and click start. It's just remembering to come back and grab it and put it back in the pantry. So that is it. That is all I do to preserve my herbs, and then this will go down in my root cellar area where it's all sealed and ready for the year. As soon as I need new parsley, if I run out of what I have in my kitchen, I just go down there and I replenish it. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm glad you got to see me again. Bye.